Hey everyone. Um, Today we're gonna be talking about the best matches of Bret Hart's singles career. Um, I think I'd say around 1991 he was like truly full time singles. Uh, about right there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But around 1991 he was like full time singles. So I'll start from there. So to start off in 1991, I'm gonna go SummerSlam 1991 versus Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental title. That was like the match to show, like, oh yeah, he's here. You know, it was a very good match. Bret Hart made him tap out, and yeah, it was a really good match, man. Mr. Perfect did his thing too, and Bret Hart won his first Intercontinental title in front of his parents. So I say that's pretty cool. To go to 1992, we're gonna choose SummerSlam 1992. I know a lot of y'all are gonna pick WrestleMania 8 versus Roddy Piper. Very good storytelling match. One of the greatest storytelling matches ever, for sure. But when it came to like pretty much Bret Hart getting like solidified, SummerSlam 1992 versus British Bulldog in the UK at Wembley Stadium. Like, British Bulldog said he was literally hung over, so Bret Hart had to call the whole match. And it was an all-time great match. One of the greatest SummerSlam matches of all time. And 1991 was also one of the greatest SummerSlam matches of all time. But WrestleMania 8, if you go with WrestleMania 8, there's nothing wrong with that. 1993, we're going to go with King of the Ring 1993 versus Mr. Perfect. Another all-time great match. Honestly, that match was probably better than SummerSlam 1991. And and Bret Hart won through a little cradle, and he won the whole thing, the whole King of the Ring thing. So, and then 1994, his best match in 1994 was SummerSlam again, 1994 versus his little brother Owen. The steel cage match, 5-star match. 5-star match. Now, you could say the opening match in WrestleMania 10, him and his little brother Owen, that was a good match. It's just that the stipulations and like, I would say the wrestling was a little bit better. SummerSlam 94, for sure. 1995, I probably give it to either Royal Rumble 1995 or Survivor Series 1995. Like his WrestleMania in 1995 wasn't that good. Versus Bob Backlund, a little submission match, wasn't that good. But Royal Rumble 1995 versus Razor Ramon and Survivor Series 1995 versus Diesel, I'd probably give it to Royal Rumble 1995. And then 1996, there's two. Yeah, I'd say two that he could have that could qualify for his best match in 1996, because in 1996 there was the WrestleMania 12 Iron Man match versus Shawn Michaels. Very good match. A lot of people criticized it because it was long. It was 60 minutes. Understandable. But it was still a good amount of wrestling. And then after WrestleMania 12, he did take that little break to clear up his knee, and he came back Survivor Series 1996 against Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they had a good little match in the Garden, Madison Square Garden. But if I had to choose between the two of those, dang, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually difficult because WrestleMania 12, really, really, really good match. Like, of course, the lights were a little bit shiny for Shawn Michaels, but Bret Hart still did his thing. But I'm gonna have to go with Survivor Series 1996. What him and Stone Cold Steve Austin did in Survivor Series 1996 was pretty good. And I'm gonna continue it into 1997 with WrestleMania 13 versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. The no DQ submission match, one of the greatest matches ever. One of the greatest WrestleMania matches ever. That's like a match that, like, one of the big brawling type of matches that you would show to someone to get them interested in wrestling on the brawling side. And there's definitely other qualifiers for 1997. 1997 was probably Bret Hart's best year, even though he was the best wrestler in the 1990s. I know it kind of make no sense, but like 1997 Bret Hart, like he was that dude for sure, because the Royal Rumble, when him and Steve Austin went at it, WrestleMania 13 when him and Steve Austin went at it again and he won, and they did a little double heel turn, and then I think he took a little break again to clear up his knee. But SummerSlam 1997 versus The Undertaker with Shawn Michaels being the ref, bro, that's a classic. He won his last WWF championship in that match, even though Shawn Michaels sort of helped him inadvertently. But another great SummerSlam match. Once again, this man has 4 great SummerSlam matches. And to remind you, that WrestleMania 13 match versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, 5-star match. But yeah, SummerSlam 1997 was really good. One Night Stand 1997 versus The Undertaker again. Really good match. Like, Bret Hart and Undertaker, they had 2 really good matches in 1997. The Royal Rumble match in 1996 was not that good. So it was pretty cool to see that they redeemed themselves about a year and a half later. And also Survivor Series 1997, Bret Hart, he said himself, like, that's obviously a match that he hates due to the politicking and the ending and the Montreal screwjob stuff. But let's be honest, if that match continued, that really would have been a great match, because Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart were literally fighting before the bell rung the first 10 minutes, and then got in the ring for like 10 to 15 before you know what happened. I'm not too her 1998 and 1999, I'm not too I don't know too much about that, because those were obviously Bret Hart's last 2 years. His career kind of got cut a little short. He had to retire at like 42, and but yeah, his WCW years, they weren't necessarily bad, but like I just wouldn't necessarily know all the way which his best matches were. So yeah. All right. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed my list. Tell me if you disagree or not.